What's going on, guys? Again, another week, another Sunday, Monday, whatever's going on. So, just wanted to, give you guys another video. Um, this week, kind of sticking with that theme we've been talking about a little bit. Kind of that fear, worrying, anxiety, especially as things start to pick up and open up a lot more. I mean, not necessarily open up, but as things start continuing on, like as you guys get closer to school and all that, I just really wanted to feel like it's a good time to hit on this stuff. Is especially with this new. I've gotten to talk to some of you guys about this, but really, everything for this next school year for you guys is going to be like completely different. Um, I shouldn't say completely different because there will be like you guys will be able to be going to school like normal, and it's just gonna be it'll be a little different with this whole COVID thing going on. And I know it can be very easy to allow worry, allow fear, allow anxiety to creep in, right? To creep in. And so I wanted to give you guys, a chance to kind of like force to focus on that, focus on it, dive into it. And I'll tell you guys this. As some of you know or may know or had not heard, there was, even for myself, as we get things going and opening up this last week, just as I was doing things going about life, found out there's a small chance I was exposed to this COVID. And it wasn't even one where I was confirmed, like, oh, I was even exposed, or not even a confirmed, like, yes, I've got it. It was just there's a chance I was exposed. So we had to take precautions and all that. And as many of you know, that's why we weren't able to have church in person on Sunday. That being said, I want to bring that up because even for myself, it was very easy. It would have been very easy to focus on the negative, focus on the chaos. Could have been very, like, at times, you have to fight yourself to not focus on the negative, focus on like the, oh no, this is happening. But instead focus on what is for sure of, God is in control of this. And, there's not a lot I can do anyway in this moment. I just have to sit and wait. And so sometimes you just have to do that. Sometimes, again, as we've talked about, worrying does nothing except cause more worry. But on that, as we move forward on that, we're going to be in 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 6 and 7. And really, we're going to probably go in 8 into 9. Because he says, humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time, casting all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Be alert and sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Resist him, standing firm in the faith, because you know that the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same kind of sufferings. Just humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand. They may lift you up in due time, Here he's talking, right before this, God opposes the proud, shows favor to the humble. Talking about, younger people submitting themselves to the elders. And so there's that. But even as we look into this and we think about this, fifth here too, just humble yourselves. No matter what's going on, like, I know there's lots of people out there in general, even my age, and maybe your guys' age too, probably your guys' age too, and sometimes even more, that are going to hear this whole coronavirus stuff, COVID stuff, masks, wear masks, all this, and they're going to be like, this is dumb, this is stupid, I don't need to listen, I don't want to listen, all that. It's a perfect opportunity to remind ourselves, just humble ourselves. Just be like, you know what? I may think this is silly, I may think this is stupid, and it may not even be a real thing. But those above me in authority are saying to do otherwise. So I'm going to listen to that, and I am going to respect them and humble myself and put myself into that place where I'm listening to them and obeying them. Because there's going to be a time for you to speak up. There's going to be time for you to kind of give an opinion, possibly. There's going to be times for that where you get to be the one having to make those decisions and having people follow that. So just listen. Just allow yourself to be humble and say, you know what? I may think this, but they're an authority over me. They may know they know more than me. I'm going to listen to them and follow what they ask. So there's that, and then he even says, cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Now, I love this because the last couple weeks we've talked about the fear and anxiety. And we've talked about, we've talked about how we don't need to worry or be anxious about things of tomorrow and all that. He talked about, the birds of the air, they have a place to stay. We talked about these things. But we've never really gotten a chance until now to talk about why. And that is, God cares about you guys. Like you guys know, every week for these videos, I end them with, I love you guys, I miss you guys, can't wait to be together. And that's so true. Like that is true. I want you guys to know that's true. But even more than I can ever care about you, love you guys, no matter how much your parents or those around you care about you and love you, God cares about you and loves you tremendous amounts more. And so when you are anxious about things, when you're worrying about things, and you just go, I'm going to deal with this myself, think of, maybe some of you guys have had that opportunity in life right now where you've got those close friends that you find out that they're going through some tough times, and you're like, why didn't they ever tell me? Why didn't I get a chance to know? And you feel a little hurt because you didn't know that was going on and you would have loved to help. If you feel that bad, just imagine how much more God would feel as he sees you hurting, he sees you in pain, and he wants to help. And there are going to be times where he's going to help because he sees and knows what's going on. But at the same time, as we talked about before, a relationship has to have conversation two ways. And so, just like when you do something as a kid and you've done something wrong and your parents know that you've done wrong, but they give you an opportunity to fess up to it and just confess and say, I did it. Same way with this. God sees your hurt. God sees your pain. He sees what you're worried about. He sees what's causing you that anxiety, but he's saying, bring it to me. I want to be here for you. I care about you. So that's really the why. Why are we talking so much about bringing our fear and anxiety to him? Because he cares about us so much more than we could ever imagine. And then the last portion, be alert and sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Resist him, standing firm in the faith, because you know that the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same kind of sufferings. I add this in because we're talking about don't worry, don't fear, don't be anxious. Those things are going to come, but what to do with it. I added this, and I wanted to talk about this too, because there's so much going on in our world today. Between COVID, between social justice and injustice, between all these other things that are coming up, I feel like every single day there's something new that is being brought to light of, oh, this person's done wrong. I think of, even as I look on social media, just what people are calling the cancel culture of people screwing up in their past, and now people like these people that are, their apologists say, I screwed up in the past. I apologize, and I've been working on that, and I've realized that, and I've changed from my ways. And people still in today's society are like, oh, you screwed up all those years ago. All right, well, even though it was that far in the past, we're going to cancel you, and no one should do anything with you anymore. There's all these things like this that are going around, and it's just the devil's way of getting your mind off of Christ. Especially if you guys are on social media, and just watching the news stuff, like the devil's going to use things to get you so focused on what's going on in the world and so focused on that, and getting into debates, talk with people about it, and trying to realize and feel like you need to have your own opinion on it. The devil's going to use those opportunities to pull you away from Christ. And instead of that, stand firm in the faith. Yes, be up to date and have an opinion on things, but don't get so focused and caught up in it that it is causing you to draw and pull yourself away from your relationship with Christ. I would encourage you, if you're going to look into these things and form an opinion yourself, turn to Scripture as you do that. Turn to God as you do that. Because our opinions on things need to come from Scripture. It needs to align with what Scripture says. So just keep that in mind. And as you do that, then it'll help with the worry and anxiety, because you won't necessarily worry so much on what's happening in the world and being pulled away from Christ, because you're going to be so focused on does this align with Scripture that you're going to see and realize how God's in control of things. So that's all I've got. Again, I love you guys. I miss you guys. Can't wait till we're back together again. Hopefully soon. Hopefully we'll be able to do a cookout here soon. It's just when life kind of gets leveled out and figured out, we'll work on planning that out. So until then, see you guys on Friday for Zoom at 2. See you guys there.